Okay, so imagine this. A life that seems, well, pretty sorted, peaceful, quiet, out in the Dorset countryside. A marriage that looks solid,
Mm,
and then, bam, a gunshot. Aimed at a dog, of all things, and suddenly the past just comes crashing back in.
right.
Today we're doing a deep dive into a review of Clare Leslie Hall's Broken Country.
Yeah, it sounds intense.
Our mission really is to unpack this review, get to the heart of the story. What's the main conflict? Who are the key players? And, why does this story about things falling apart seem to grab people?
Well, I think what hits you first reading the review is how fragile that piece actually is.
Uh-huh.
So you have Beth and Frank, they seem settled, but there's this feeling, something's lingering maybe.
Okay.
And then Frank's brother, Jimmy, and he does something really impulsive, shoots Gabriel Wolf's dog.
Oh, wow.
And that act just pulls Gabriel and his son Leo straight back into Beth's world. It's quite the re-entrance.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's more than just an old boyfriend showing up again, right? The reviewer mentioned something pretty unsettling.
Yes, exactly. Gabriel's son Leo.
What about him?
He looks, well, remarkably like Beth's son, Bobby, who died.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you can almost feel that old grief, those dormant feelings just waking up again.
That must be incredibly jarring for her.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. That connection Beth and Gabriel had as teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
The review suggests it wasn't really over. Not completely.
So seeing him again just reignites it.
Seems like it. The reviewer really highlights how Beth is immediately thrown into this massive internal conflict.
Right. Her current life versus this pull from the past.
Exactly. Her life with Frank, the stability, the predictability, and now it's face to face with this magnetic force from a relationship that clearly still has power over her.
Creates that tension right away.
Instantly. You get the sense her present life is already sort of
Yeah.
compromised,
And the story isn't told straight through, is it? The review mentions flashbacks.
Yeah, it weaves the past and present together. So we get these glimpses of Beth and Gabriel's teenage romance alongside the current drama.
Okay, so we see how it all started.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like the author is slowly revealing their shared history, why it was so intense, maybe why it ended.
And the setting. Rural Dorset, the review talks about that too.
It does. It sounds almost tangible. This beautiful, maybe slightly isolated landscape.
But it's not just a pretty backdrop.
No, not at all. It becomes the stage for these rising tensions, these old jealousies coming back to the surface.
Right, okay. And what about the village itself? It's a close-knit community, the review says.
Yeah, it touches on that, the dynamics within the village. It suggests this isn't happening in a vacuum.
So people know each other's history.
Presumably. Shared histories, maybe unspoken rivalries or alliances. That probably all plays into it somehow. How do you think that kind of environment might affect Beth?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. If everyone knows her past with Gabriel, it adds another layer of pressure, doesn't it? Makes it harder to keep things separate or secret.
Definitely complicates things.
And as she's spending more time with Gabriel and with Leo, it's not just nostalgia anymore.
No, the review suggests that old spark is definitely rekindling, becoming something more serious.
And there's this other connection too, right? Through Leo and the memory of Bobby.
Yes, that shared grief, the
Wow.
loss of Bobby. It creates this unexpected, really deep bond between Beth and Gabriel,
Wow.
which of course makes things even more complicated with Frank.
Understandably, he must start noticing things, feeling insecure.
The review says exactly that. Frank starts sensing Beth is drifting, changing. His insecurity grows.
And it all spirals out from Jimmy shooting the dog.
It's incredible, isn't it, how one impulsive action just sets this whole chain reaction in motion, these huge unforeseen consequences.
Yeah.
And then the review sort of shifts gears a bit, starts hinting at this building suspense.
Oh, how so?
There's this darker undercurrent mentioned. It suggests this isn't just a love triangle story playing out. Right. The reviewer specifically mentions a death is foreshadowed, something significant that rocks the community.
A death, so it becomes a mystery.
Seems like it. And crucially, suspicion falls on the main characters.
Beth, Gabriel, Frank.
Potentially. So the central question changes, It's not just, will Beth choose Gabriel or Frank anymore. It becomes, who's responsible for this death and why? The stakes get much, much higher.
So it's more than just romance then. It blends genres.
Definitely seems that way. The review positions it as having elements of maybe a thriller or a mystery wrapped up in this emotional drama.
Interesting. And the characters themselves, the review praises how they're drawn.
Yeah, it really emphasizes their complexity, their flaws, their vulnerabilities. Beth isn't just torn. She's grappling with her own identity.
Who she was versus who she is now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gabriel's return forces her to look hard at the choices she's made, the life she's built. Is it what she really wants?
And Frank, he's not just a passive victim.
No, the review mentions his quiet strength. That suggests he's got resilience, maybe a breaking point. He won't just stand by.
And Jimmy, the brother who started it all.
He's described as unpredictable. Volatile, maybe. Keeps you guessing what he might do next.
So it sounds like the book explored some pretty big themes then, according to the review.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about love, obviously young love, married love, but also loss, grief, how that shapes people.
And the past.
Definitely the past. Its power, how it echoes in the present, how you can never fully escape it. The review highlights that as central.
It sounds like it digs into the messiness of relationships, too.
For sure. Secrets, difficult choices, the consequences,
Yeah.
all playing out against this backdrop that looks peaceful, but is actually simmering with tension.
That contrast sounds effective, the idyllic setting versus the internal turmoil.
Yeah. And the review mentions secrets specifically between Beth and Frank, things they've kept hidden. And Gabriel's return puts pressure on those secrets, threatens to bring them out into the open.
Which could unravel everything for Beth.
Precisely. Her whole carefully built life is suddenly at risk. The reviewer talks about this heavy atmosphere, things left unsaid, buried emotions.
Creates real suspense. You're waiting for the dam to break.
Exactly. And apparently it does. The review talks about the culmination involving unexpected twists, big revelations.
So it doesn't just fizzle out.
Doesn't sound like it. We're told these revelations really expose the long-term impact of that first love and the devastating cost of buried secrets.
And how would that impact the community if secrets come out?
Well, in a small village like that, you'd imagine major ripples, right? Fractured relationships, maybe other secrets getting exposed too.
Yeah, definitely. So the climax involves Beth having to face everything.
Seems so. A confrontation not just with the men in her life, but with her past self, the review suggests.
And she makes a choice.
A difficult choice, apparently. One that changes her life and the lives of those around her completely, irrevocably.
Sounds like a powerful ending.
Yeah. So really pulling it all together from this review, Broken Country starts with this disruption of a quiet life.
Right, the gunshot.
And spirals into this really complex story about rekindled love, but with these dangerous undertones, secrets, and ultimately a mystery surrounding a death. It's all about the weight of the past.
How it can just reach out and grab you when you least expect it.
Exactly. Shattering the present.
Okay. That definitely gives us a clear picture. It brings us to a final thought for our listeners. Thinking about this book review, consider that idea, the enduring power of first love. How relationships from way back can suddenly reappear and challenge everything you thought was stable in your life now.
Yeah.
What secrets, maybe even ones you've forgotten about, if they suddenly came to light? How could that fundamentally change how you see your own life, your own relationships? Something to think about.